welcome to episode 42 of the Minnie Mice Show. I'm Mama Mouse Cynthia, and these are my two Minnie Mice.
I'm Anissa.
I'm Tiana.
We just want to say, for those of you listening to our podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Spotify, you can also watch us on YouTube and Facebook. We're also on Twitter and now TikTok, so make sure you guys are following us at the Minnie Mice. We know it has been a while since we have done a podcast, and we're going to be completely 100% honest with everybody. It's been a while because we honestly just weren't feeling it. We were getting a little discouraged, and we felt we needed to take a little bit of a break just to kind of regroup and find what we actually wanted to do. Not that we wanted to quit, because that's not what we wanted to do, but we wanted to try and, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Try and again.
We just wanted to regroup.
Try again.
Basically regroup. And anyways, what I'm trying to say is we're back. We're definitely back in studio now. We were recently told by someone pretty special that you don't quit stuff. You change stuff. And I'm replacing a word that he used with stuff. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We are not quitting stuff. We are changing stuff. So to begin the change, we are going to first welcome all of our new listeners. We know we have some new listeners out there. We want to thank you guys for listening and following and subscribing. We appreciate you guys so much. And we're just going to give just a quick introduction of ourselves that we did in the very beginning when we started episode 1. So like I said, we're at episode 42 now. So just a quick backstory. My name is Cynthia. I am the mom of these two girls. I was born and raised in the Bay Area. Been married 20 years. And I grew up loving Disneyland. My parents used to take us to Disneyland every year of my life since as young as I can remember. I don't even know how old I was, but I know it was as long as I can remember. And my dad pretty much gave me my love for Disney. About 2.5 years ago, my father passed away. My dad was my hero. My dad was everything. He was my biggest fan. And losing him was probably the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. So I needed to find a healthy outlet. and I needed something positive and I guess magical, you can say, because it was either that or I would spiral down a rabbit hole, and I didn't want to become depressed or anything like that. So I needed a positive outlet. So I decided to create a Disney account. And I created a Disney account after he passed, and it kind of opened the door to this whole new world that I didn't even know existed. Like, of course, you know that there's other people out there that love Disney as much as you, but you don't realize that there's actually a Disney community. And finding people that you can relate to, because, I mean, let's face it, everybody in our lives who does not go to Disneyland as often as we do, what do they say? You're going to Disneyland again? And it becomes like,
come at me.
So I had a private Instagram account, and I would post Disneyland, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, again? Don't you guys do anything else? So it became a little annoying, and so I'm like, well, I don't expect everyone to understand. That's fine. But when you enter the Disney community and you start following all these other people that love Disney as much as you find out that you can relate and they relate to you. Most of them have the exact same story in the sense where people are constantly telling them, like, Disneyland again? Like, yeah, Disneyland again. But Disneyland's just for kids. No, it's not just for kids.
Then I'm a kid.
Yeah, I'm a kid at heart for sure. But Disneyland's for everyone. And finding this community has actually been one of the best things to ever happen to our family, I think. One of the best things, not the best thing, but definitely it's been pretty awesome. And shortly after starting my Disney account, my husband, who came to me one time over a date night and said, I think you should start a Disney podcast. And truth be told, I laughed at him and I was like, yeah, right. No, I don't think so. Sorry. And it kind of like wait, but why would he? I mean, I know he was saying that because he's a huge follower of Gary Vee, and Gary Vee is, he was always listening to Gary Vee's podcasts, and Gary Vee's voice was always playing in the background somewhere, whether in the house or the office, constantly hearing it. But if you love Disney as much as you do, then you need to start a podcast. Kind of blew it off, whatever. And then we kind of toyed with it a little bit, and we kind of like thought of like names. Should we think of a name? Should we do this? I don't know. We couldn't think of anything in the beginning. So I kind of just put it in the back burner. And one day we happened to be at Disneyland, and we met some people that we met through the Disney community that were friends at the time. And people kind of, I guess, misjudge us when they see us in person, or they're like, whoa, you guys are small.
We're really small.
Most
We are
people,
small.
when they see us, they're like, wait, you guys are way smaller than we imagined. So we were told, hey, you guys are like mini mice. And Anissa and I looked at each other, and we were just like, oh my God, that's what we should name it. But you know what? I'm babbling here. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about that part. Anyways, so yeah, I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom since Anissa was born, and I've considered that a huge blessing and a privilege, and I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful for it. I'm thankful to my husband for it, and just to have the opportunity to be able to stay home and take care of my kids. My kids are homeschooled. Anissa's now, she'll get into what she does, but I've been able to take care of her until college and still taking care of her. So I feel blessed and privileged to be their mama. So I will let Anissa get to her introduction.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Just kidding. I'm Anissa. Anissa Elise. My middle name, I'm named after my papa, so that's why it's my favorite name. I am 18. I was also born in the Bay Area, and we lived in Northern California forever, basically my whole life, and then we moved here only last year. But moving here this was already a plan of mine since I was like 12. I was like, okay, I'm moving to Southern California, whether you guys want to follow me or not. I'm going there for college. I didn't know where, but I just knew that I wanted to be in Southern California. And now we're all here, which is better than being alone. I also grew up going to Disneyland every single year of my life, so that's why it's so special. I am a student at Biola. I take psychology classes and biblical classes, and I'm still figuring things out, really. I mean, you can't really go to college and be like, this is exactly what I want to do, and then, I mean, how many students actually follow through with their initial plan? It's good to explore different things. I mean, that's, growing up, what did I do the most? I am super into music. Like, music is the thing, my go-to if I'm not happy or if I am happy. It's like therapy in a weird way, but it's also, I don't know, like, I'm like excited about something, I'm gonna go play the guitar. Or if I'm sad about something, I'm playing the piano. It's just different feels. I'm in Disneyland every week. I don't do much, guys.
We literally went
friends?
like 3 times this week.
Huh?
I said we literally went like 3 times this week. Yeah, 3 times this week.
But I will say, my life was like this in Northern California, and then when I moved here, my life was like. But I would take this over anything else because I was just meant to be here. Life is boring when it's just, you know.
A straight line.
Yeah.
It's gotta
Like
go.
a roller coaster, you need the
A
drops.
roller coaster. You need that thrill. That's who I am as a person. I need to be thrilled and surprised, even if it's bad. So
All right.
that kind of explains the kind of person I am, I think. Just go with it. Go in blindfolded. I don't care. The worst thing that could happen is something bad happens. And if something bad happens, I always think, okay, well, I've been through worse, so I'll be fine.
If you worry, you suffer twice.
Yeah, worrying only
That's a
means you
good
suffer
point.
twice. So why worry?
All right.
Maybe, I don't know, if you're bored, just worry.
Good job. Okay, Sienna.
Well, I'm Sienna. We basically have the same story. We were both born in the Bay Area.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 13. I don't have that much figured out. I've only been alive for 13 years, so there's not much to tell there.
But you do have a dream of what you
I
want
do
to
have a dream. I want to be a Disneyland Imagineer. I've wanted to do that for like how long?
Oh my gosh.
For so long.
Yeah. Since you were at least 8 or 9, maybe, if even.
Probably
Probably
younger.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's just something I've always wanted to do. Like I have this journal. I write everything in there. I draw everything, all my ideas. I do want to do the DCP. I definitely want to do that, the Disney College Program. And I'm not as into music as Anissa is. I'm not really. I love listening to it, but I don't have that many talents when it comes to that. I mean,
You're like me. I don't play any instruments, but
I don't have that many talents. Yeah.
you're definitely
up
talented.
here.
But you're just, music is just, that's Anissa and Dad.
It's not my strong
You
suit.
and I are not. We like listening to it and
I do
dancing
like-
along to it. But that's
even
about
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Anissa's right. I'm mostly up here.
Extremely smart.
What is it? Left brain? Left side of the brain? I'm more the left side.
You build Raspberry Pis, for crying out loud.
Yes, I like playing the Nintendo
Yeah, that's fun.
with Dad. Go to Disneyland. My first time at Disneyland, I was literally 3 months. I've been going since before I was 1.
You were
So,
in my tummy.
oh, that too. Disneyland. I love going to Disneyland.
What was it like?
What was it? I mean, I tried some of the food, but that's it. That's all I remember. Well, I don't even remember. But I guess that's all there is to tell.
That's right. Your story ain't over, though. That's for sure.
No.
You definitely have a whole life ahead of you. Smart cookie. So that's our introductions. That's who we are. How the Minnie Mice started, we just mentioned it a little while ago. Once we figured out the name, it kind of like went from there. So the second we figured out the name, I remember we were still at Disneyland, and I called my husband and I said, okay, I think we have a name. And we told him, he liked it, and we just ran with it. So he started, I think he made a logo, and we were like, okay, we were still living in the Bay Area at the time, though. We
No.
happened to be,
Folsom.
I'm sorry, not Bay Area. We were living in Folsom, apologize. We were living in Folsom at the time, and we were on a trip to Disneyland when this all happened. So we came back, and we kind of try to figure out what we wanted out of this, what we were going to do, what we're going to talk about. And I think you tend to overcomplicate things instead when we just realize, okay, let's just be ourselves and let's just talk. And that's what we started doing. And we started doing it probably once every week or two, maybe. We weren't doing it consistently. It was maybe every 2-3 weeks or so, if even that. And when we got the hang of it a little bit more, I think we started doing it like every Friday. And then we were like, what are we doing? Like, this is, if we're going to be doing a Disney podcast, we need to live there. We need the content, right?
Well, originally, I told you guys that I wanted to move over there because I was like, I'm homeschooled, and we're going like every month to commute there because my dad also would work out here. And I was like, just saying, I'm down to move. And my dad had wanted to move for years, but we never wanted to move because we wanted to be closer to like my papa and our family. But then like after, it's like nothing was really keeping us there anymore.
Yeah,
We need
a
boring.
change.
If you live in Sacramento area, I'm praying
You
for
know
you.
what we're talking about.
It's like you're in like a Truman Show. Everything's just golf course, Starbucks, Palladio, next. Church.
That's why I don't like that
Starbucks,
movie. It
Claudia.
reminds me
I'm
too
like,
much of Folsom.
I need to do something.
Folsom is not bad. To all the Folsom
horrible.
people out there, it's
Got good food.
Folsom is not bad. Folsom is actually probably one of the best places to raise kids, and that's exactly what we did there.
It's a good
Robots.
place
It
if
gave
you want
them-
no adventure in your life and
It's-
excitement.
It was
Unless
a great
unless you
place
go on
to
the
raise
trails.
them. No, it was a great place to raise you because you guys had a great childhood, and you know that.
The good schools
You had
are
good
over
schools.
there.
They were blue ribbon schools. They were doing great. It wasn't until Sienna, right before her junior high, she was going to start junior high, is when we started
They didn't want me in middle school.
we did homeschool. And Anissa agreed to homeschool first. She's the one that said, let's do homeschool. Okay, Sienna, do you want to do homeschool?
I was like,
okay. Sure, why not?
I don't
Which
wanna
I
go to
think
middle
was
school
great
that bad.
anyway, because middle school kids are different.
Middle
Different
school
than-
is different.
Middle school is definitely different than elementary school, that's for sure. And as a mom, as a parent, as Christians, we just felt it was best, we don't have, just because you see it every day in a movie or you see it every day, it doesn't mean you have to experience it in real life. So if I can shield them from certain things, not that they need to be shielded, but if I can make something better for them,
I'm
then
fine
why
not going to
do
middle
it?
school. I mean, at least I get to go to Disneyland 3 times a week.
That is true. But since they excelled, and they've been excelling ever since. Anissa graduated high school as a homeschool student and got accepted into a university. That's pretty huge. So I think we did a pretty good job with the fact that we changed to homeschool. It's not for everybody, so I'm not saying it is, but it ended up working out perfectly for my kids. And just for our lifestyle in general, we like to travel.
That's right.
So it was convenient for us. And then after losing my dad, I needed a change. I needed something different. So a change of scenery, I was actually welcomed. So I said, okay, let's go. And literally, I want to say we decided in a month, right?
What actually happened though was, let's do it. Okay. I mean, I think we were.
Why not?
We're super bad at deciding where we want to live. We like changing things up anyways. So I think we just decided to rent, right? So we were renting. So it was okay, I want to move. And then I want to move. I mean, I guess I'll move. Yeah, let's move. And so then it was okay, well, when this time, instead of keep renting, let's move. And so then,
How about when we go to Disneyland, we look for a house?
yeah, and then we literally just planned that. We looked, we told our landlord, and then we were out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I want to say
That
we were
sounds
gone.
about right.
We were gone.
It was just meant to be, obviously, because if it wasn't, God would have been nope, 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 nope.
No, everything
But he was
fell into
Yep,
place
yep.
exactly the way it was supposed to fall into place. Not to say it was an easy process and that it's been an easy process since, but the good has outright outweighed the bad. It's literally been a roller coaster for us, but it's been a good roller coaster. So that's where we are now. And we've been doing this for a little over a year now, the podcasting, and we've been loving it. And then we added the Minnie Mice Minute, which is the daily news that I do every morning, and that's actually been received quite well, and I'm really, really happy about that. And I love it, and it seems to be a lot of people like it too. So I'm happy. I'm going to stick with it, and it's that alone right there. If I don't do it, whether we're on a trip or I'm sick or something happens, I love it so much that it hurts me when I can't do it. So that's when I know I'm doing something right, is when it definitely scares me too, but at the same time, I love it. I love the challenge of it. I just love it all. So recently, last week. So last week we were, it was my dad's 80th birthday, and we decided to go spend it at Disneyland. So we went to Disneyland, and not knowing that morning, Gary Vee had put on his Twitter, or he texted
On the text platform.
on his text platform, Gary Vee Coffee. And it was for a chance to meet with Gary. He had said he was going to fly someone out to New York or to VaynerMedia.
It's misleading.
Take me to New York.
To have coffee with Gary Vee. And I honestly didn't know about it in the beginning. My husband is the one who texted Gary Vee back, tweeted Gary Vee back, and for the Minnie Mice. No clue, left it at that the rest of the day. I was just having a bad day. I was trying to get through the day. I ended up leaving Disneyland, and the girls stayed. I had dinner with my husband, and my husband said, hey, guess what? I forgot to tell you, I entered you guys into this contest that Gary Vee's doing. And it's coffee, Gary Vee Coffee. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, let me show you. And when he went to go open his phone to show me, his like face just froze, and I'm like, what? He's like, oh my God. And I said, what? He's like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? He wouldn't say anything. He's all, you guys won. And I'm like, we won what?
Because he didn't even get the chance to finish telling you.
No, he didn't, like nothing. It was crazy. And I'm like, what did we win? He's all, you guys won coffee with Gary Vee, or Gary Vee coffee. And I'm like, wait, what? And it was just insane to me. And I'm like, it literally turned my day around. It seemed almost unheard of, because my husband had met with Gary Vee before in this, what was it called?
30 pitches.
30 pitches. So he was one of 30 different people or companies that were chosen to go and pitch to Gary Vee. So in New York. And so at that moment we were thinking, oh my God, we're going to New York. Like, so
I was very excited.
we called Sienna and Anissa, and I said, guess what? We're going to New York, and Sienna's dream is to go to New York.
I was like, that's cool, but we're going to New York? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she, like, Sienna's dream is to go to New York, and she wants to have Junior's cheesecake.
That is what I want.
That's like her
No
thing. So we were like,
kiki.
Sienna, you're finally going to go to New York. And then Gary Vee's tweeting, and then I guess he figures out that we're in LA
SoCal.
area, we're in SoCal. So he tweets his guys to get a hold of us to meet in LA. And I'm like, oh no, sorry, Sienna.
I know. I was like, you guys had to break the New York news to me first before
But
they
what's
messaged
crazy
back.
is this happened Tuesday, and the
It happened
meeting was
Tuesday.
set for Thursday. So literally 2 days later.
2 days to prepare.
Yeah, so Wednesday morning, and we had no idea what was going to happen yet. We knew we won, and we knew it was going to be on Thursday, and it was going to be in his LA office.
VaynerMedia.
VaynerMedia in LA. And so, but we knew nothing else. And then we finally, we got a message from someone in Gary's team saying that we were going to have a phone call Wednesday morning, which was the following morning, to discuss all the details and stuff. So they called and they said, can you guys be there tomorrow on Thursday in Culver City at VaynerMedia? And we were like, yes, of course, we'll be there. So we went the very next day, and it was a thrill. Like, it was surreal. It was amazing. I didn't cry when I met him, but I cried when I found out, just knowing, oh my gosh, just knowing the opportunity we just got. And it came on just such a perfect day. And my husband said, you're so spoiled. You know, God whispered in your dad whispered in God's ear, said, come on, let my daughter win this. And
Pull some strings.
yeah, he definitely pulls some strings up there. So anyways, okay, so we're at VaynerMedia, and how were you guys feeling when we got there?
I was... You want the honest truth?
Yes,
No,
honest truth.
No, we don't want the honest truth. We want lies.
The honest truth is I was only nervous because I like Gary Vee very much.
Those hard eyes.
She's definitely got hard eyes for Gary Vee, and she has
Not like in a weird, inappropriate way. I honestly admire him, and he's such a cutie, you know, and he's so nice. I've never seen a video where he's not nice to someone, and that's attractive to me as a person. He's a very great person.
He's super
and when we
nice.
met him, it confirmed this guy is like the nicest guy. He's so sweet.
I was actually taken aback with how genuinely kind he is.
He's so
Yeah.
nice.
He's definitely, I mean, just the way you see him sometimes, how he interacts, he's never rude or mean or anything, but he's very real. He's
Real.
extremely real, so you don't know.
uses
Like, a part of you is
facts.
kind of like, you're intimidated because you're like, uh-oh, like, what is he going to say? But he was the nicest, the sweetest, the most kindest person ever. So anyway, that morning, I actually, my husband and I were talking, and we live 20 minutes from Disneyland. And I said, we need to take him, my husband says, we need to take him something. And I was like, I got it. Like, I'll get him a hat, Mickey ears. Let me run it. I have to go like now, because we had to leave in like an hour and a half to head out there. And so I ran to Disneyland as fast as I drove to Disneyland as fast as I could.
She ran.
I went and got him a hat, and the Mickey ears
wonder it
hat, and I
took so
had his name
long.
put on it. Well, it said Gary Vee. I had his name stitched. And literally ran back to the car. That I did do. I ran because it was raining. Of all days, I don't know why, but it was raining.
Oh, it's hot
in
and raining.
Anaheim. It was like 78 degrees and it was raining,
was
and I had just
88.
finished curling my hair, so I lost my curls, but I'm like, I don't care, I got the hat. And when I went in to give him the hat, I'm like, should I give him the hat at the end or should I give it to him in the beginning? And then my husband says, just feel for it, however you want to do it. So we walked in and I saw him, we hugged him because we're huggers. We don't shake hands, we're huggers.
He said, I love hugs.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, give me another one then.
So I said, I hope you don't mind, but we got you something, and make sure it has your name on it. And I gave it to him. And he looked at it on both sides, and he seemed genuinely thankful and grateful for it. And then he put it on. And I was like, wow, I did not. And then when he put it on, I'm like, oh, well, he's going to take it off. He never took it off.
You wore it the
He
whole
wore it
time.
the entire
If you
time.
want to change, but like it's all Mickey'd out.
I know.
It was so funny.
That right there alone made my whole day, that he sat and talked to 3 Disney-loving girls wearing Mickey ears the entire time.
Guys, can I just say, we did that. Like,
Yeah.
we got Gary Vee to put on Mickey ears. If y'all love Gary Vee, you didn't know he was a Disney fan, you're welcome.
We actually found out that he loves Disney,
Yeah.
and that just made me love him so much more.
Guys, that's the best
I mean,
picture
look
of him
at that. That
ever.
is the best picture of Gary Vee
that
ever.
he's a secret. He said something like being
yeah.
a softy entrepreneur.
Yeah.
A soft. Is that what he said? A
Yeah,
softy
he said
entrepreneur.
he's a big
He said he's a
Disney fan.
softies.
Yeah, he said he was a big Disney fan. He told us about his first Disney or the 2 experiences he had as a kid going to Disney. He said the first one was ghetto. Was
Ghetto.
Did he say ghetto?
He said ghetto.
Yeah, he said it was ghetto when he went the first
stayed
time.
at a Holiday Inn.
Yeah, a Holiday Inn. And then he went again later on in life, and he told us his favorite Disney movies, his favorite Disney
Lion King.
characters. He loves The Lion King. He loves Chip and Dale. He loves Grumpy, The Little Mermaid. I mean, just, I don't know, to see someone you admire and like you look up to so much, like down at your level, talking about the things that you love, like, oh my God, that was just such an incredible moment for me. And he gave us gold that day. I mean, we introduced ourselves. He asked us what our names were. Like, he didn't just say, hey guys, what's up? And then let me talk. Like, no, he genuinely had an open conversation with us. He wanted to know our first names. And he was so, like, I was just, yeah, he was so genuine. He was in the moment too. Like, he wasn't like, okay. Oh, okay. Like, no, because we know he is a busy man. Like, we know he is a busy man. And the fact that he gave us 100% of his attention, like, I will forever be grateful for that. Like, so grateful, because he was in the moment with us.
He was.
And I appreciate that so much. Like, how did you guys feel talking to him?
I mean, at the end of the day, he's still like just a person, but it was obviously someone I really looked up to and everything. It was, I don't know. It just felt like I was watching an Instagram video in my face, like, because, you know, you see him on
Yeah.
Instagram and then his voice, you know, everyone knows Gary Vee's voice. And then
Yeah.
he's talking to me. I'm like,
Yeah, I was nervous in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. Like, leading up to it, I was nervous. Only because I didn't know what to expect. Not because I was afraid of him or anything like that. But I just didn't know what to expect, what would come out of it. Like, I don't know. I didn't know. It was the unknown that made me nervous. And the second I walked into that room and hugged him and looked him in the eye and had an actual conversation, the nerves went away. Yeah. And I like almost forgot why I was there, what we were doing. We were just so in the moment. Like, it was captivating. And I loved that. Like, we were honest with him, 100% honest. We told him that we weren't feeling it. And he said, what were the words he used? He said, you guys are, what did he say?
impatient.
Impatient. He said, you're impatient. And I'm like, yeah, we are. Like, we live in a society, in a world now where you want things, you know, fast. And he's been doing what he's been doing for years, like back when he was the wine guy, like just the
He did that
transformation,
for
you know?
4 years, and he said nobody watched, and he was actually losing money.
Yeah, he
I
was losing
remember
money.
the wine guy.
Anybody would have quit.
Yeah, and he didn't. He didn't.
Look at
And
him now.
you guys know, like we know, the people closest to us know that we wanted to quit. There were times and things that have happened that we wanted to quit, but we didn't. And the fact that we kept going, no matter, even though we didn't feel it and we didn't do it as often, but we still kept doing
It's
it.
the only reason why we got to meet with him. If we would have quit, we would have never met
Oh,
him.
for sure. But meeting him and just the opportunity that we got to have with him completely like gave me a boost, and it lit a fire under me where like I just want to like hustle even more now, and I want to get things done, and I want, like he said, like I can see like airlines, like the Disney's official airline sponsoring, you know, and like that kind of stuff. It seems so far-fetched, but why not, right? Like why not?
The only person that says you can't is yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the only ones stopping us.
Yeah. So, like, he gave me so much confidence. I mean, just his realness, the way he was, the way he talked to us, just his perspective, everything he gave to us that day literally lit a fire under me. And I'm excited, and I couldn't wait to get back into the studio. And like he said, don't quit stuff, change stuff. And that's what we're doing. So we decided, okay, we're going to take his advice. And he said the one thing that you guys should do is start
Thrifting.
or flipping. Start flipping. And he said, go into Disney, get stuff that, you know, is exclusive and it's on sale or whatever. Like, buy that stuff and sell it. And so we took his advice on that as well. And we actually spent this weekend thrifting. We went to thrift stores and we found actually so much more Disney stuff than I thought we would find, which was actually really exciting. And then every time we'd like pull, oh, there's a garage sale. Oh, look, there's another thrift store. And we had so much fun in the thrift store.
I'm just saying, guys, being a Disney fan and knowing you have to sell all the Disney stuff you're finding,
yeah,
it's
it
very
hurts hard.
So I've kept only 2 things.
The worst was when I'd find something Winnie the Pooh, and I'm like, "Ugh, but I want it."
I know.
Yeah.
But see, the good thing, okay, one thing we forgot to mention in the beginning, like we gave up the house. We don't have the house anymore. Like when we lived in Northern California, we had the big house with the big yard and on the golf course.
Because it was fulsome.
But we had the big house. We moved here and okay, we now live not in a house. But it's all the sacrifices that we've made, and they don't hurt because our experiences that we're getting to have in place of the big house exceeds having the big house. So, I mean, one day, who knows? We may have one when we have grandkids, you know, the big house, whatever, that's fine. Whether we do or we don't, it's fine. But we're having such a good time right now in life in general. It doesn't matter where we live. It doesn't matter any of that. It's how we're living that's making the difference. And the way we're living right now, I'm so happy. Like, so happy. Aren't you guys happy?
Yeah.
We have
I know.
pretty good life.
Like, I'd rather have the small house and have all of these advantages to it than just a big house and all the disadvantages. I'd rather have the small house.
Because, I mean, we could have the house, but then we'd be so far from all the things we actually like to do out here, and it's just not worth it.
And we'd be stuck in the house. We couldn't travel. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't go anywhere.
That's why I always
because-
say I'd rather have a smaller house and travel.
all the time.
Yeah. I definitely want to give my kids experiences versus, I mean, Anissa, yeah, she's in college, but it's not, Anissa, you better like graduate with 20 years from now because I want you to do graduate school and blah, 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 blah. Like you have to do it. Like, if that's the path that makes her happy, then so be it. If she ends up changing course later for whatever, as long as she's doing something, then I'm okay with that. Like, I'm happy if she's happy. That's what I want. And the same thing for Sienna. She changes course later on, so be it. As long as she's happy and she's doing something.
This is something GaryVee actually said in one of his videos, because he was like looking at this 25-year-old, maybe he's 25, right? He's like, to him, Gary's like, or I saw an Instagram post that said, Gary, like, how old are you? And then the guy said, whatever age, any age, and he said, perfect. Like, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You're never too old. Like, what? Like, I'm over here 18, like, I don't even know what I want to do. I know I'm going to school, but what if I end up changing my mind? I'm stuck. Like, I'm not stuck.
You have your whole life.
I'm not stuck. Like, literally, it hasn't even been a full year. Like, I'm not stuck.
And what did Gary tell you when you told him that you were doing online college?
He said that he was jealous
of you.
Yeah. Like, I mean, not gonna lie, I get lazy too, but
Doesn't everyone?
ultimately I want to just do, I feel like I'm the kind of person that changes my mind a lot, and I get bored. Like he said, don't quit, but change it, which is obviously harder when you're in college to just, okay, I'm gonna change it up now. Let me try this and let me try that. But I think that's why it's cool how kids can like take a bunch of different classes. Mm-hmm. Like right now I'm only taking technically one. So it's like I feel in a little box. But I'm not stuck, you know? And if you are young like me or young like my mom, you're not stuck. Life isn't over. Yeah. I mean, you could go to college at 50 and nobody cares these days.
That's true.
Nobody cares. Mm-hmm. People, I mean, this is the sad truth, but people really only care about themselves. So if you think what you're going to do is going to affect someone else, it really won't. So just do what you want.
The only person who cares
that
is
makes
yourself.
you happy.
Usually when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So do what makes you happy, even if it's crazy and even if it takes a long time.
Yeah. Yep. Nope, that's true. I mean, like he said, we get impatient, but we just have to stick to it, like no matter what. Like what were the words he used when he said just to keep going? Like don't. Oh, okay. Anyways, well, I think. You can say we're gonna drop the video, the full video. Yeah, we will be dropping the full video of us meeting with GaryVee on YouTube, I believe, right? Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube, so you'll be able to see the entire, it wasn't really an interview, but a meeting. We had an entire meeting with him, and it was actually, like, his time was up. Like
Coffee with GaryVee without the coffee.
We did have coffee with GaryVee without
wait,
coffee.
Guys, do you realize we didn't even have coffee?
Yeah, we walked out. We're
now
like, wait,
Gary
we
owes
never
his
had
coffee and a trip to New York.
Well,
Gary,
technically,
if
they
you're
did
listening,
offer.
Gary, we will be
love
more
you.
than happy to meet you in New York and have
More
coffee
than
with
happy.
you.
You remember I said that it's
Anything
my
you
dream.
want from the park, you got it.
Do you want a churro?
I'll also take a bottle of rosé if you just want to put that out there. But
Well, technically, he's the wine guy.
well, he is the wine.
He
guy,
knows the
but
wine.
He has his wine. I'm talking about his wine, his rosé. I want his rosé. So I'm gonna have to order
He
it.
knows wine more than anyone.
He does. But yeah, I was sad when it was over. I mean, grateful and thankful for the opportunity, but like I enjoyed his time so much that I was sad it was over. Like I want to be friends with him.
Honestly.
Yeah, like he's that cool, guys, that you just want to be friends with him. Crazy busy, but I admire it, and he has definitely earned his success, and we wish him nothing but the best.
Anissa want to be his friend.
So, yeah.
I'll babysit your kids if you want.
He'll babysit his kids. But yeah, we had a great time. We are truly thankful and honored for the privilege that we had. And we're still on a high. Like, I sit down, I was laying in bed last night, I looked at my husband, I'm like, we met GaryVee. Like,
We did
like,
that.
I mean, he's met him before, but
That's why it seems
I
so
had never
normal
met
for
him.
me.
Like, the fact that he wanted to meet me and the girls, it had nothing to do with, like, Charlie's dad's business, which was like,
What?
it was just like, wait, us? Like, we have a Disney podcast. Why does he want to meet us?
Let me say something.
So
In
it's
complete
amazing.
honesty, I mean, I was like excited because, you know, it's Gary Vee, but it seemed so normal. Like, I don't know, it was like meeting someone that Dad like works with when he introduces people, because like he's met him and we've seen videos of him with him. So it seemed so normal. Like if Dad knows him, it's almost like if we know him. I don't know, that's always how I feel. If Dad knows someone, then I feel like we know them.
But now we know him because we know him.
I know, I'm just saying, the fact that Dad had already seen him, it seemed like just a normal thing to go see him.
Yeah.
That's my opinion in all honesty.
Yeah. He's a great guy. Like I said,
So
overall,
nice.
he was really great guy, super sweet, very kind. Thank you, Gary, so much for the opportunity. Thank you for being so kind to us. Like, we're huge about being kind and showing kindness and being a light in our community no matter what. So the fact that you were so kind and that you believe in kindness and spreading kindness and having empathy, like those are things that we relate with and we admire and we strive to constantly do in our community. So we're just thankful and grateful, like I said, just thankful and grateful. We're just, yeah, we're happy. We're good.
I truly believe he's super successful too. I mean, not only because he didn't give up and everything, but because he's decided to share his accomplishments with other people.
Yes.
He wasn't like selfish about them.
He wasn't greedy or
He's
anything.
not greedy. I mean, someone tweeted him like, I'm going to buy some of your shoes if you could sign them. And he's like, no, I'll send you the shoes. Signed. You know, like, don't pay for them. I got you. Like, I'm sure that's not why that guy tweeted him. He probably just likes him. And the fact that Gary's always so giving and wants to share, like I said, those achievements. Like, let me show you how to get there.
Those are the kind of
rise above together.
those are the kind of things that have favor. You have favor in life when you are that kind of person.
And that's what makes him more successful than even like multi-billionaires, for example. Like, yeah, they have more money, but what is their life worth really if they've only used their knowledge and everything to help themselves, when Gary's used everything he's ever learned to help other people. Everything that he posts is with somebody because he's helping somebody. And
Well, look at he helped
he's
us.
growing people, like, and he's growing, so we're growing together.
Yeah,
Which is why he's so
Yeah,
big.
he's still, I mean, he's still not as mainstream as he should be. Like, there's still a lot of people that don't know who he is, which is shocking to me. But the fact that people don't know, like, oh, give it some time because you're definitely going to know who he is. Just give it a few years and everyone is going to know Gary Vee's name. Every single person.
like the way people associate like remember in Love Rosie when she's like, you have to be Santa Claus, Tom Hanks, it's Christmas time nice. Like, put Gary Vee in there. You have to be Tom Hanks, Gary Vee nice. Like, he is that nice.
Yeah.
Tom
really
Hanks doesn't
is.
really cuss, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah. No, like, we love him. Absolutely love him. Love him more
That's what
now.
separates him from most other people.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes our experience with Gary Vee and our introduction of the new version of the Minnie Mice, I would say. The new but old but new. I don't know. We're definitely going to keep things going in the future, and we're not giving up. We're like you said, we're just changing stuff. I mean, yeah, we're changing stuff. We're not quitting, we're changing. So, sorry, we ain't quitting. We ain't going nowhere. But
Sorry.
we're definitely going to be changing it up and doing fun stuff, new stuff. We're going to do whatever it takes to get to that level. So we ain't going nowhere. So thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Spotify. For those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. We are the Minnie Mice Show, so make sure you guys check us out at the Minnie Mice on social media. Until next time, be kind and spread some magic.
Don't be crusty.
Bye, guys.
And we got
Bye.
Gary to say that.
Yeah, we did.
Awesome. So, have a great time, guys.
Hey guys, it's Gary Vee. Be kind and spread some magic.